If you ever win big at a casino and drive home alone at night, check your tires twice, because the night I didn't almost cost me my life. My name is Francine Carlisle. I'm a 37-year-old customer service rep from Alexandria, Virginia. And until last year, I thought danger was something that happened to other people.
Welcome to TheTrudgery, a zone for true horror stories, disturbing encounters, and twisted tales that were never meant to be heard. Until now.
The following cases are based on a true story. If you ever win big at a casino and drive home alone at night, check your tires twice, because the night I didn't almost cost me my life. My name is Francine Carlisle. I'm a 37-year-old customer service rep from Alexandria, Virginia. And until last year, I thought danger was something that happened to other people. I live a pretty simple life. I like dancing when I get the chance, dining out with girlfriends, and those sip and paint classes where everyone pretends they're artists after 2 glasses of wine. I used to be overweight, real overweight, but I slimmed down over the past couple of years with the help of injection medications and, if I'm honest, a steady stream of cigarettes. Not exactly doctor approved, but it worked. When you lose weight, people notice you. You start feeling like maybe luck has finally turned your way. And if there's one place I believe in luck, it's the casino. I've always loved gambling. The lights, the sounds, the possibility that one good night could change everything. My favorite place is the MGM National Harbor. It's only about 20 minutes from my apartment. My mama used to say gambling was dangerous, but she also said never walk under ladders, never open umbrellas and doors, and always knock on wood. I'm old-fashioned like that, superstitious, so every time I pull into the MGM garage, I tap the steering wheel 3 times and whisper the same little phrase. Mama's hot, don't let me down. That night started like any other. It was a Thursday around 9 p.m. I wasn't planning to stay long, just a couple of slots, maybe some blackjack, then home. But something felt different. You know that strange feeling when luck seems to lean your way? I hit the slots first, nothing big. Then I sat down at a blackjack table. The dealer was an older man with tired eyes and a voice like gravel. The kind of man who's watched thousands of gamblers chase hope across green felt. And I started winning, hand after hand. By midnight, I was up thousands of dollars. The dealer looked at me and said quietly,
You might want to think about cashing out.
I laughed. Sir, I've been waiting my whole life for this kind of night. He nodded slowly. Then he said something strange.
People remember the nights they win,
He said.
but they forget what happens after.
Eventually, even I knew it was time to quit while I was ahead. I colored up my chips, walked to the cashier, and left that casino with more money than I'd ever won before. As I headed toward the parking garage, I felt light, proud, like the universe had finally noticed me. I even said it out loud while unlocking my car. It's hard out here. Then I laughed and started the engine. The drive home should have taken 20 minutes. I barely made it 10. The steering wheel started pulling hard to the right. Then came the thumping sound. Flat tire. I pulled onto a quiet stretch of road not far from Oxon Hill. The streetlights were spaced too far apart, leaving long patches of darkness. My phone said 12:47 a.m. I sat there debating what to do. I knew how to change a tire. My dad taught me years ago. But I also had a purse full of casino cash, and I was alone. Finally, I got out to look. Cold air, silence, no cars passing. The rear tire was completely flat. That's when I heard footsteps, slow, crunching on gravel somewhere behind me. I turned. A man stepped out from the darkness near the trees. Average height, hoodie, hands in his pockets. He smiled like we were neighbors meeting in a parking lot.
Car trouble?
Every alarm in my body went off, but I tried to stay polite. Yes, sir. Flat tire. I've got it. He walked closer. Too close.
I could help you,
He said. I shook my head quickly. That's all right. He kept smiling. Then he asked something that made my stomach drop.
You coming from the casino?
I hadn't said that. I glanced toward the road. Still empty. He stepped closer again.
People win big there sometimes.
My mind started racing. Mom always said, When something feels wrong, it probably is. So I forced a polite smile and said the most old-fashioned thing that came to mind. "Well, sir, I bid you good night." Then I turned and hurried back to my car. Behind me, the gravel crunching sped up. He was following. My heart slammed against my ribs. I jumped into the driver's seat and locked the doors just as his hand smacked against the window. Hard. He didn't look friendly anymore. He tapped the glass once with his knuckle, then pointed at the tire and mouthed 2 words.
"You're stuck."
My hands shook as I tried to dial 911. But before the call connected, headlights appeared down the road. A pickup truck. The man stepped away instantly and slipped back toward the trees like he'd never been there. The truck slowed as it passed. The driver rolled down his window. "You all right?" I nodded, barely able to speak. He looked toward the dark tree line, then back at me. "Stay in the car. I'll call it in." Police arrived about 10 minutes later. They searched the area but never found the man. One officer crouched beside my flat tire with a flashlight. Then he frowned. "Ma'am," he said quietly, "this tire wasn't blown?" I stared at him. "What do you mean?" He pointed to a clean slice across the rubber. Knife cut. Someone had slashed it, and judging by how fresh it looked, it probably happened while my car was parked in the casino garage. Suddenly I remembered what the dealer had said. People remember the nights they win, but they forget what happens after. The officer told me there had been robberies targeting casino winners, leaving late at night. People followed, tires sabotaged, cash stolen. Some victims weren't as lucky as me. I drove home that night on a spare tire, hands shaking the entire way. And I kept thinking about something my grandmother once told me. A man wins a bag of gold and decides to walk home alone through the forest instead of waiting for daylight. Halfway through the woods, he realizes something is following him. And by the time he understands the risk he took, it's already too late. The lesson was simple. Sometimes the danger isn't what you want. It's the risk you didn't need to take to get it. I still go dancing sometimes, still take sip and paint classes, but I don't gamble alone anymore. And if I ever win big again, I'm not walking through that parking garage by myself, because the truth is, that man knew I was coming out of that casino, which means he'd probably been watching me all night, waiting. And every time I think back on it, I remember the way he disappeared into the darkness like it belonged to him. My mama used to say, money comes and goes, but a real friend who walks you safely home? I would trade the world for a real friend like that. And sometimes I wonder if that man is still out there near that casino, watching the garage, waiting for the next winner to walk out alone. The night I delivered to the wrong house in West Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure I met the man who almost killed me and the part of myself that probably deserved it. My name is Jacoby Jackson. I was 28 when this happened, working nights as a delivery driver out of West Philadelphia. It wasn't glamorous work, but it paid my bills and kept me independent. That mattered to me. I've always been the type who handles his own problems. Rent, paid, car, maintained, life falling apart, deal with it yourself. That's how I saw the world. People who leaned on others too much. I called them needy. I used to say it with a little smirk too, like I figured something out everyone else hadn't. Truth is, I prided myself on being self-sufficient. Maybe a little too much. Most delivery nights blurred together. Same cracked streets, same porch lights flickering over tired row houses, but the night of October 17th didn't blur. It burned itself into my memory. It was close to midnight when the order came in. Large pizza, 2 sodas, cash payment. The address was near the edge of West Philly, where the streets get darker and the houses get older. The number didn't look familiar, but that's what GPS is for. Except that night, the GPS started acting strange. The route kept shifting, nudging me down narrower streets than I'd ever driven before. The houses changed too. Row homes turned into older Victorian places that looked like they'd been decaying for decades. Eventually, the map stopped moving. You have arrived, but the house number wasn't visible anywhere. The place in front of me looked abandoned. Peeling paint, sagging porch, yard swallowed by weeds. I almost canceled the order. but cash deliveries matter when you're a driver. So I grabbed the pizza and walked up. The porch boards creaked under my weight. No lights, no cars, just wind moving through dry leaves. I knocked once, nothing. I knocked again. Then the door slowly opened. A man stood there in the dark. Tall, thin, maybe 60. His face wasn't injured or strange exactly, but it felt off, like someone trying to copy normal behavior and missing something small. He stared at the pizza box, and my stomach tightened. "Yeah," I said. "That'll be $22. He didn't respond right away. Then he smiled, not friendly, curious.
Most people turn around before they get here.
He said quietly. I gave a nervous laugh. "Well, GPS." He nodded slowly. "Technology brings people places they shouldn't go." That line stuck with me later. But in the moment, I just wanted my money. 22, I repeated. He stepped back into the house.
"Come in, I'll get it."
I didn't move. Every delivery driver knows that rule. Never go inside. He noticed. Another thin smile.
"You don't trust strangers."
"No offense," I said.
"None taken."
He replied. Then he leaned slightly closer.
"Trust is how people let things in."
He disappeared into the dark hallway. I waited on the porch. 10 seconds, 20, then I heard something inside. A heavy thud, followed by a dragging sound, like something large moving across the floor. My instincts kicked in. Something was wrong, really wrong. I stepped backward toward my car. Then the man came back, but he wasn't holding money. He was holding a hammer.
"Wait,"
he said calmly. I dropped the pizza and ran. The screen door slammed behind me as I reached my car. He moved fast, way faster than I expected. I locked the doors just as he reached the window. The hammer hit the glass. Once, twice. The second strike cracked the window like a spider web. He wasn't yelling. He looked focused, like he was fixing something. I slammed the car into reverse and hit the gas. The tires spun in gravel before the car shot backward. In the rearview mirror, he stood in the road watching me leave, still holding the hammer, still smiling. What the fuck? I called the police 10 minutes later, gave them the address on the receipt. The dispatcher paused. Then she told me something strange. That address didn't exist. The street officially ended 3 blocks earlier. They sent a patrol car anyway. Later that night, an officer called me back. His voice sounded uneasy. They found the house, but it had been abandoned for 15 years. No electricity, no water, no sign anyone had been living there, except one thing, my dropped pizza box, still sitting on the porch. For weeks I told myself the guy was just some squatter, but the encounter kept replaying in my head. The quiet way he spoke, the patience, the way he studied me like I was the one who didn't belong. And the strange part, that night forced me to look at myself. I spent years pushing people away, calling them needy, acting like independence meant never letting anyone in. But a locked door works both ways. It keeps danger out, and it keeps you alone inside. Things could have went sideways. I had a close call, and I was alone. I remember a line that stuck with me. Evolution requires courage. I hated how true it felt. Pain is a touchstone to spiritual growth because people grow through each other, through trust, through connection, and sometimes it hurts. But if it ain't growing, it's dead. It's hard out here. For a long time, I was living like something technically alive, but not growing. I still deliver sometimes. I don't overdo it. Different company now, different routes, but sometimes the GPS takes me near that part of West Philly. And I slow down because 6 months after the incident, curiosity got the better of me. I drove back to find that house. The street was there, the woods were there, but the house was gone. No demolition, no fire, just an empty clearing where it should have been. And every time a delivery address looks a little unfamiliar, I can't help wondering if somewhere out there, that man with the hammer is still waiting for someone brave or stupid enough to knock again. I'm Beatrice Taylor, 66 years old, retired lunch lady from Anacostia in southeast Washington, D.C. And the night a stranger stood breathing in my living room, I realized my blindness had been warning me all along. Most people think blindness means darkness. It doesn't. Not for me, anyway. After the doctor said clinically blind, they explained I might still see vague shapes, foggy shadows, blobs where people should be. They also said there was a chance, small but real, that my vision could come back. So I live hopeful enough to keep my garden alive behind my little brick row house in Anacostia. Tomatoes, collard greens, a stubborn little rose bush that refuses to die. I can't see the leaves clearly anymore, but I feel them, their shapes, their textures. Dirt still smells like dirt. Every Sunday I volunteer at the church down the street, cooking big trays of baked chicken and baked macaroni and cheese for special events. The young folks say, "Miss B, you cook like somebody's grandmother." I say, "Baby, I am somebody's grandmother." My children and my grandbabies live up in Baltimore. I see them when I can, though travel is harder now. My income's simple, pension from the school system and my Social Security checks. Enough to keep the lights on and the garden watered. Life slowed down after my sight faded. But my hearing, that sharpened like a knife, and that's why I knew someone was in my house. It was a Thursday night, quiet, humid summer air pressing through the open kitchen window. I had just finished washing a pot and was drying in my hands when I heard it. A breath, not mine, slow, careful, the kind of breathing someone does when they're trying not to be heard. Now, when you can't see well, your brain does funny things. It fills in blanks. Sometimes the shapes I see move when they shouldn't. But breathing is real. I stood still. My house is small, so sounds travel. The living room floor has this loose board that clicks when stepped on. Been that way since 1998. Click, there it was. Someone froze. Then the air shifted. The stranger was close enough that I could feel the temperature of another body in the room. I spoke before fear could stop me. "Baby," I said calmly, "if you're planning to rob me, you picked a poor blind woman's house." Silence, then movement again. Slow, careful, drawers opening. My purse, my desk, where I keep my mail, where my Social Security deposit letters come. That's when something heavy settled in my chest. Because whoever was in my house knew exactly where to look. Now here's the thing about being a lunch lady for 30 years. You learn voices. Children grow up, but their voices keep a fingerprint. I've heard thousands. So when the stranger whispered,
"Damn,"
my heart sank straight through the floor. Scooby, that's my grandson. Real name Kuwan, but nobody calls him that. Scooby, sweet boy once, big smile, loved grilled cheese sandwiches. When he was little, used to sit in my cafeteria after school while I cleaned. But Scooby had troubles. Troubles with drugs, troubles with money, troubles with the law. The kind of troubles that sneak into families quietly and then sit at the dinner table like they belong. I didn't say his name yet. I wanted to be sure. So I asked softly, "Son, what are you looking for?" The breathing stopped again, and then the shadow shape turned toward me.
"You blind for real, Grandma."
That's when the truth landed. Heavy, cold, unavoidable. Fear didn't come first. Sadness did, because I remembered holding that boy when he was born. Tiny fingers gripping mine. And now here he was, grown man sneaking through his grandmother's house for money. "The gift and the curse," I said quietly. He shifted.
"What?"
"The last and the first, the best and the worst." Scooby laughed nervously.
"You talking crazy."
"No," I said, "just old." He kept searching. I could hear coins sliding, papers moving, my kitchen drawer opening, where I keep a small emergency envelope. Then he said something that chilled me.
You got cash in here somewhere. I know you do.
So somebody told him, or he'd been watching me. Either way, the house felt smaller suddenly, more dangerous. And I thought about a parable my pastor once told, about a farmer and a fence. The farmer loved his animals so much, he let them roam free. Said fences felt cruel. Said love should be open. But one day wolves came, and the animals had nowhere safe to stand. The pastor said something I never forgot. Love without boundaries feeds wolves. Standing there in my kitchen, I realized something painful. Scooby wasn't just family. Right now, he was the wolf. I got something for you, I told him. He paused.
Yeah.
Yes. I reached for the counter. Now understand, I couldn't see clearly, but I knew every inch of my kitchen. 30 years cooking will do that. My hand wrapped around the heavy cast iron skillet I keep beside the stove. Scooby must have heard it lift.
What you doing?
Setting a boundary. He laughed again, but there was tension now.
You ain't gonna hit me.
Baby, I said softly, you don't know what blindness changes. He stepped closer, and suddenly his shape moved fast. Maybe he thought I couldn't track him, but I could hear the floorboard. Click. I swung. The skillet connected with something solid. Scooby yelled and fell back. The sound echoed through the house. My heart pounded so loud, I thought it might burst. I see you, I told him. You can't see nothing. I see you for who and what you are. He groaned from the floor. I stepped forward slowly. I held you in the palm of my hands, I said, and I crushed you. Dust, he cursed, tried to stand, then ran. Front door slamming open, footsteps sprinting down the street. Gone. The police came later. My neighbor must have heard the commotion. Turns out Scooby didn't get far. Officers picked him up 2 blocks away holding my purse. True story. You can probably find the report if you search hard enough. They asked if I wanted to press charges. I said yes. I damn sure did. That was the hardest part. But here's something people don't talk about enough. Family can cross lines, and love doesn't erase danger. That night, I told the officer something I'd been thinking since the skillet left my hand. It's never too late to grow some healthy boundaries. He wrote it down in his little notebook. Maybe he thought it sounded wise. Maybe he just wanted the paperwork done. My vision still hasn't fully returned. Some days I see a little more light. Some days just shadows. But something strange happened after that night. For weeks afterward, I kept waking up at 3:33 a.m. every night. Same time, and sometimes I would hear breathing again, slow, careful, like someone standing very still in the living room. Doctors say trauma can make the brain replay sounds, memory ghosts. That's the scientific explanation. And maybe they're right, but one night I spoke into the dark anyway. Breach not my borders, and blessed be, I said. The breathing stopped, and it never came back. So if you ever hear a noise in your house at night, and your gut tells you something's wrong, listen. Because sometimes the scariest thing in the dark isn't a stranger. Sometimes it's the person who already knows exactly where your valuables are. I swear on everything I love. The night I heard someone breathing behind aisle 14, I knew 2 things at once. I wasn't alone, and whoever was in that warehouse already knew my name. My name's DEJOUR Glover. I'm a 28-year-old, shipping and receiving manager at a logistics warehouse outside Memphis, Tennessee. It's not glamorous work, but it's honest. Pallets, scanners, forklifts, trucks backing in at 4 a.m. like mechanical dinosaurs. I check manifests, manage inventory, keep things moving. After my divorce, routine became my survival plan. My ex-wife, Stephanie, that situation still stings if I'm being real. I found out she was having multiple affairs. Some guys from a church, a couple from the rehab program she went to. When the truth stacked up, it felt like someone kept piling bricks on top of my chest. I loved her, but I loved my sanity more, so I left. We share custody of our daughter, and she's the best thing in my life. My beautiful little girl, laugh like wind chimes. Stephanie and I keep it civil for our child, but there are nights the betrayal creeps in like cold air through a cracked window. When that happens, I distract myself. Therapy helps. Chess helps too. I play online sometimes for hours. Strategy keeps your mind from wandering into ugly places. And weirdly enough, I listen to a lot of UK comedians. One of my favorites is Rich Blackwood. Something about hearing black folks talk about their experience across the pond, same rhythm, different blues, makes me feel less alone. Plus, their accents calm me down. That night at the warehouse, I actually had Rich Blackwood playing in one earbud, which is probably why I noticed the silence. Warehouses have a sound. Even when nothing's happening, air ducts hum, freezers cycle, metal racks tick as temperatures change. But around 10:40 p.m., everything went still. Too still. I paused the comedy. That's when I heard it. Footsteps, soft, somewhere in the back rows where we keep overflow electronics. Now here's the thing. I was the only one scheduled that late. Night shift had gone home. Security patrol didn't swing by for another hour. So I stood up from my desk slowly. I'm catching a bad vibe, I said out loud. The words echoed off the high metal ceiling. No answer, but the footsteps stopped. You ever feel watched? Like the air itself tightens around you. That's what aisle 14 felt like. Tall shelves on both sides, boxes stacked like city buildings, motion sensor lights that flick on one row at a time. I stepped into the aisle. Light snapped on overhead. Empty. Just cardboard and shrink wrap. But then, from the other end of the aisle, a shape moved. Someone ducked behind a pallet. My chest tightened instantly. Now Memphis warehouses get broken into sometimes. People think electronics equal easy money. Still, most thieves grab something quick and run. This one stayed, and that's what made it strange. Hey, I called. Warehouse closed. Silence. Then a voice answered from the shadows.
You DEJOUR?
That froze me because I hadn't said my name. My brain started racing. Who asking? The figure stepped out halfway into the light. A man. Hoodie. Face mostly hidden. But he didn't look like a desperate thief. He looked calm. Too calm.
You the manager, right?
He said. Yeah.
You've been working here a while.
It wasn't a question. I felt something crawl up my spine. How you know that? He ignored me. Instead, he started walking down the aisle toward me. Slow. Like he wasn't worried about anything.
You got a daughter,
he said. My stomach dropped. I don't play about my daughter. Every instinct in my body started screaming. Slow your roll, playboy, I said. He kept walking. When fear hits you hard enough, your mind does weird things. It pulls up memories like warning signs. And right then, I remembered something my therapist told me. He said people lose themselves when they don't know their core values. He gave me this example once. A ship in the ocean. If the captain knows exactly where north is, storms can push him around, but he'll always correct the course. But if the captain forgets north, every wave becomes a new direction. He told me betrayal does that to people, makes them forget their compass. Standing in that aisle, staring at a stranger who knew my family, I realized something. Stephanie's cheating had knocked my compass sideways for a while, made me question my worth. But the direction itself, that never changed. protect my daughter, protect myself, stand on what's right. North was still north. The man stopped about 15 feet away. Light flickered above him.
You ever think about your ex-wife?
He asked. I blinked. What?
She ain't want to be saved.
He said casually. The words hit like ice water. That was something I said once. Only once. To my therapist. How do you know that? He tilted his head slightly, and for a split second, the light caught his face. I ain't never seen him before, but he was smiling like we were old friends. I took a step back, phone already in my hand. Security's on the way, I lied. He laughed softly.
No, they ain't.
Another step forward. My heart started pounding so loud I could hear it. You should leave, I told him.
Why?
Because this is trespassing.
Nah,
He said.
this is curiosity.
That word stuck with me. Curiosity. Like I was some kind of experiment. I started moving toward the exit door slowly, keeping distance between us. You following me? I asked. He shrugged.
Maybe.
Why? He smiled again.
Just wanted to see something.
What? He leaned closer.
To see if heartbreak makes a man weak. Or dangerous.
That sentence changed everything, because suddenly this wasn't random. This man had been watching, studying, and the calm way he said it made my skin crawl. I grabbed a heavy tape gun from a nearby cart. Not a weapon exactly, but solid enough. This is your final warning, I said. Leave. He looked at the tape gun, then back at me, and laughed.
On my mama,
He said.
I hate it like coleslaw.
For a second, I was so confused, I almost asked what that meant. Then he stepped backward into the shadows. Just like that. Gone. I sprinted to the front office and called the police. They searched the warehouse for 40 minutes. Found nothing. No forced doors. No broken windows. No cameras showing anyone entering or leaving. One officer asked if maybe I imagined the whole thing. Stress from the divorce. Lack of sleep. I gave him a dumb look to match his question. There was one problem with that theory. When I got back to my desk, something new was sitting on the chair. A small chess piece. A black king from my personal chess set. The one I keep at home. To this day, I don't know how it got there. Police couldn't explain it. My therapist couldn't either. Sometimes I wonder if someone had been following me, learning things, testing me, or maybe, just maybe, some stranger wanted to see if broken hearts make weak men. And if that was the test, I hope he got his answer, because I locked every door that night, checked every aisle twice, and I swear as I shut off the warehouse lights, I heard footsteps again in the dark behind me, slow, patient, like someone waiting to see what move I make next. The night I almost died started with a text that simply said, "Pull up. We got the whole store to ourselves. My name is Donte Wong. I'm 26 years old. I work as a clerk at a supermarket on the southwest side of Houston. Nothing glamorous. Stocking shelves, ringing up groceries, helping folks find where we keep the canned peaches. Before that night, I was what people politely call a late bloomer. I still live in my parents' basement, and honestly, I like it. My mama fries the best chicken in Texas. My dad roasts Peking duck like he's feeding an emperor. The AC stays blasted year-round. After work, I smoke a little, play video games, and listen to Pimp C and Bun B. Life is simple. Meanwhile, my siblings are out here living full adult lives. Careers, houses, kids. Thanksgiving feels like a family reunion and a career fair at the same time. My parents never shame me, but they nudge. When you think you're gonna move out, you're saving money. You got a plan? I usually laugh it off. I gotta watch my body, I'll say when they bring up my habits. I'm pacing myself. But the truth is, I've been thinking about timing. A few weeks before all this happened, This old head at the barbershop dropped something on me. His name was Mr. Clay. Quiet brother. Didn't talk much. But when the shop got still, he looked at me through the mirror and said, "Boy, everything has a season and a reason. Your timing is divine, but you better be awake when your moment shows up." Everybody chuckled, but I didn't forget it. The night everything happened was a Thursday. My boy Kareem texted me around 10:15. Game night. Kareem lived across town near an old shopping strip that mostly shut down after a hurricane flooded the area years ago. I grabbed my keys, told my parents I'd be back late, and hit the road. Houston at night can feel eerie. Long, empty highways, orange street lights stretching forever. You can drive 10 minutes and barely see another car. Halfway there, Kareem texted again. Change of plans. Meet me at the old Market World. Market World used to be one of the biggest supermarkets in the city before it closed. Kind of funny, considering where I work now. When I pulled into the parking lot around 11:10, the place looked dead. No lights, no cars, just a massive empty building and a flickering street lamp. I texted Kareem, "Where you at?" No response. I was about to leave when I noticed two people standing under the entrance awning. At first, I thought they were messing around. Then I saw what they were wearing, a bride and a groom. The woman wore a full wedding dress, the bottom stained like she'd been dragging it through dirt. The veil covered most of her face. The man wore a black suit that looked slightly too tight. They were both staring directly at my car. I rolled my window down halfway. "You waiting on somebody?" The groom stepped forward slowly.
Are you Dante?
My stomach tightened. "Yeah."
We've been expecting you.
I glanced around the lot again. "Kareem here?" The bride nodded her head. The groom smiled.
He invited you.
Something in the way he said it made the whole parking lot feel colder. He gestured toward the dark supermarket behind them.
Come inside.
I shook my head. "Nah, I'll wait out here." The bride stepped closer. Her voice was eerie.
Too bad. We could have been lonely together.
Something about that sentence sent a chill straight through me, she said. Right then my phone buzzed. Kareem. I opened the message. "Bro, why you ain't here yet?" I stared at it, then typed back. I'm at the market like you texted." 3 dots appeared. Then another message came through. "Bro, I never texted you tonight." My chest tightened. Slowly, I looked back up at the couple. They had moved closer to the car without my noticing. The groom rested his hand on the window frame like we were old friends. "You work
in a supermarket,"
he said calmly.
"How is it late at night?"
The question felt rehearsed. "Quiet," I said automatically. He nodded.
Lonely.
The bride whispered again.
Very lonely.
What is happening? Then the groom pointed behind him toward the open store doors.
You should see inside. It looks just like the one you work in.
That's when I noticed something strange. The doors were open now. I never saw them open. Inside was pitch black. No emergency lights, no reflections, just empty darkness swallowing the aisles. My phone buzzed again. Kareem calling. I answered immediately. "Bro, where are you?" he said. "I'm at Market World." "What?" "Dante. Why?" "You told me to come." Silence. Then Kareem said something that made my stomach drop. "Man, I didn't text you. And you shouldn't be there. That's where they found that couple last year." "What couple?" "The bride and groom. Some kind of double tragedy, unaliving, and a self-deletion. They were still wearing their wedding clothes." My blood ran cold. I looked at the pair standing next to my car. The bride slowly lifted her veil, just a little. Her eyes were open, but unfocused, like she was looking through me instead of at me.
You came when we called.
She whispered.
Not everyone does.
The groom leaned closer to the window.
Phones distract people.
He said quietly. Then he stepped back. The bride tilted her head.
Wrong season.
That was enough for me. I slammed the gas pedal. The tires squealed across the empty parking lot as I shot toward the road. When I glanced in the rearview mirror, they were still standing there, not chasing, not waving, just watching. The next morning, I drove past Market World in daylight. The building was sealed shut, doors chained, windows boarded, no footprints in the lot, no sign anyone had been there. Later, Kareem showed me an old news article. A couple had been found dead inside that building the year before, still wearing their wedding clothes. Police never figured out why they were there. I still work at my supermarket, still live in my parents' basement, still enjoy my mama's fried chicken and my dad's Peking duck. But something changed that night. I started saving money, thinking about the future, taking life a little more seriously. Because standing in that parking lot, staring at those two strangers, I realized something. Sometimes life gives you a moment where the next decision could change everything. I was never the same after the events of that night. It's like I grew a decade in a day. Now, when people ask why I'm moving different, I just repeat what that old man told me in the barbershop. Everything has a season and a reason. My timing is divine. I am right where I'm supposed to be at all times. But every few months, my phone still lights up with a message from an unknown number that says, "Pull up, we're waiting."